This is a quick video tutorial that will walk you through how to use the photocopier, the newer photocopier that's in many of our buildings to scan paper copies of documents or worksheets directly to a student's email or to your teacher email address. So the first panel that you'll see when you get the machine open is this one here. This is the home screen panel, and you want to click on email here. When you do that, you're going to see this particular screen come up. Again, a little different than the one that you may have had in your building prior. So the first thing, of course, is to add a recipient, and when you click on there, you will get the option to manually enter a student's email address. Or if you're sending this to yourself or to another staff member, you will find them available in the device address book. So hitting the manual entry here, this is where you would actually enter in the student's GAF account information, their username. So it's the first four letters of their first name, immediately followed by the first four letters of their last name, as well as the three numbers associated with their GAF account. And then, of course, at ed.amdsb.ca. So when that's entered in there, you will select the add button over here, and then that email address will appear in this window here. It will show that the recipient is your student. The next two are kind of optional, but sometimes for keeping things organized, you may want to do this. The first one here allows you to change the actual subject of the email that will land in the recipient's mailbox, and you can do that there using the on-screen keyboard. You can also change the actual title of the document. So if you're doing a particular worksheet or you want to be able to find this later and differentiate it among many that are sent, this is where you would do that. Again, the same options are available on screen. So where we get into the how do I make this so that it is scanned with what we call OCR, or optical character recognition. That is the particular process that allows either read and write for Google Chrome on a Chromebook, or some of the accessibility features and functions on the iPad to recognize your paper copy as something that can be read in a digital format. So we are creating a PDF, and what we'll do is click on this button here for PDF. That one will automatically be selected. What we want to do is go down and click on the More option, the three little dots here, the ellipses at the bottom. So we click there. Again, PDF we won't have to change. It's this area here that we need to pay the most attention to. Searchable is the Xerox copier's name for optical character recognition. So by default it will select no. So if you've created PDFs in the past and they aren't readable for a student or a staff member, this would be why right here. So we definitely want to click yes on this one here. Automatically it will default to English, and I would say for most use cases that's where you would want to leave it. The other options here, generally you aren't going to need to worry about. Simply PDF and searchable, yes, and I'll hit OK up there. The only other thing that you would need to do, I think, to make this a little more successful for the student or for the eventual reader of the document. These are all of your regular photocopying options available to you here. If we go down a little bit further though, the one that we want to manipulate or change is this resolution. So currently the default on the machines is set up to 200 dpi, which is dots per inch, and that's a measure of the clarity within a square inch of the document. So currently there would be 200 dots making up a square inch if the entire square inch was full black. And so the higher this number, the greater the output quality or clarity would be, the greater the density of those dots on the page. The one drawback to that is if you make the document too large, like 600, it makes the files that it creates quite a bit larger on the screen. So the one that we typically will select on here is the 300. So we'll go in there and select that. Again, this is optional. Most scans that you do at 200 would be fine. I just think it helps improve the overall clarity and the likelihood that it would be read with the tools the students would use as efficiently as possible. So now with that set up, we've got all of our options finished. You can actually then, I can't show you on this screen, but you would actually then hit the button on the side, the physical button on the side of the machine, to get it to begin to make this copy, just like you would for a regular copy. And then that takes, a process of a minute or two or less sometimes if it's a single sheet, and single-sided. If you want to, you can load a single sheet down on the glass, and you can also do single sheets or multi-page documents, single or double-sided, through the auto feeder on the copier as well. So hopefully that video helps you out a little bit and gets you up and running with scannable documents for students that would benefit from that.